methods. So for this process, all we have to do is to first get the rational roots, the possible rational roots. So this is just what we did. We got the factors of the constants and the factors of the coefficients. Okay? And so now, maraming paraan on how to do this. But since this is cubed, at hindi siya pwedeng gamitan ng mga paraan sa for example, the grouping, the factoring by grouping, what we can do now is to do the rational root theorem. So we already have listed the possible roots, the 1, -1, 6, -6, 2, -2, and 3, -3. All we have to do is to do the trial and error by using the remainder or the factor theorem. Ready? Are you still familiar with that? Let's just do this. So, let's try this. So, syempre, try lang natin isa-isa bawat possible root. Since this is cube, basta't makakuha ng isang pasok, you can already proceed to the usual factoring. Okay? Let's have this. Let's try this. 1, the positive 1. So, we have here P if x is equal to 1. So, isa-substitute lang natin yan. We will substitute the value of 1 in our P of x. We will have P of 1 is equal to 1 cubed minus 4 times 1 squared plus 1 plus 6. You may use your calculator to solve this. So, this will become 1 minus 4 plus 1 plus 6. So this will end up with 1 plus 1, 6, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 6, 8, minus 4, it's 4. P of 1 is equal to 4. Ang tanong, based from our lesson last week, is this a remainder or factor theorem? Type your answer in the chat box. Is this a remainder or factor theorem? Type your answer in the chat box, please. Everybody must participate. If your answer is 4, P is equal to 4, is it a factor or a remainder theorem? Type the answer in the chat box, please. Exactly, you are correct. It's a remainder theorem. Since it's a remainder theorem, for 1, the value of x is not a factor. Not a root, therefore, it is not a factor. It will not become a factor of the given. Let's try the next one. Okay, so this is Alana. Let's try the -1. P of -1 is equal to -1 cubed minus 4 times -1 squared times -1 plus -1 plus 6. Sige nga, solve this using your calculator. What's the answer for P of -1? Press this in the calculator. Remember ha, dahil may negative to, don't forget to put parentheses or else you will end up with the wrong answer. Don't forget to use parentheses or else you will end up with the wrong answer. Sige nga, try it in your calculator. Try it in your calculator. 2 already sent 0. 1 sent 2. Verify your answers. Verify your answers. Everybody must try. Get your calculators. Okay, 3 got 0. 1 got 2. Let's wait for the rest. Okay, 0, 0, 0. Dumarami na ang mga 0. Exactly. So that becomes 0. So for the manual computation, this will become -1. This becomes positive, -4. -1 plus 6. So -6 plus 6. P of -1 is equal to 0. Now, is this a factor or remainder theorem? Is this a factor or remainder theorem? Type your answer in the chat box. Okay, good. This is a factor theorem. So since this is a factor theorem, it only means that the root will help us identify the factor of our polynomial. Okay? Now, remember this was x is equal to -1. Okay na to. This is 1. Finally, we got one factor. So, this is root. Para makakuha na tayo ng factor, we will end up with, if this is x is equal to -1 and this is a factor theorem, so transpose this to the other side, this will become x is equal to, x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x plus 1 now becomes one of the factors. Since this is a factor theorem. Got it? Got it? Okay. Now, we only got one, but this is x cubed. Oh, we need one more. We need two more factors. So, actually, we can do continuously. We can continuously do all this. Sige nga, isolve nyo pa nga ulit. What are the rest of the other factors? Try nyo naman itong mga, of course, you may start from the least to greatest. So, you may try +2, -2, +3, -3, 6, and -6. Basta't nahanap nyo na yung tatlong yun, you're done with the factors. Sige nga. Try substituting all the possible roots and identify the factors. Chester already identified his 3 roots for the polynomial. Now, I want you to express those in factored form. The rest, identify the other roots. We already have one, -1. We already have -1 as the root. Burahin ko na tong si +1 kasi wala na siyang kwenta. It's a remainder theorem. Okay. Now, I want you to try P of 2. Try P of 2. P of -2. P of 3. P of -3. P of 6. And P of -6. But again, as soon as you already found the 3 roots for the polynomial, you need not to test the remaining roots anymore, possible roots. Okay? Sige nga. Okay. So Maneha already got the 3 roots. So let's wait for the rest. Now Maneha may express it in factored form. Chester already got the correct factored form. Very good. What about the rest? Let's wait for the rest. Try nyo nga. You have your calculator. Please work with your calculator. If you don't have your calculator, use Excel if you are good in Excel.
What's your surname? Last number, Gerard. Gerard, what's your last number? B2. Oh, yes.
Okay. So, si Steph, nakuha na niya yung dalawa pang remaining factors. Very good. Stephanie, si Stephanie Vergara already got the remaining 2 factors. What about the rest? We need 3 factors kasi this is cubed. 3 factors ang kailangan. 3 factors. Let's wait for the rest. Let's respect the movement of the rest. Ready? Let's wait for the rest. Are you still solving? Find the other roots and the other factors. Translate them to factors. Okay, Mar Wilson got the 3 roots. Now, Mar Wilson, express them to factored form. You got the roots, express them now to factored form. Very good. After this, I will be showing you another process naman. You might find it much easier. Depende sa inyo. But of course, we are showing you muna the ano. Yes, the synthetic, that's correct. Okay, tatlo pa lang yung, apat pa lang yung successfully nakakagawa. Let's wait for the rest. And so when we solve this, P of 2, this will be equal to 0. This will not be equal to 0. This will be equal to 0. And as soon as you got the third, kasi there are only 3, it has only 3 degree. That the degree is third, it's 3. So therefore, expect there are only 3 factors. Okay, we already got 1. This is the second, and this is the third. So ibig sabihin, even if you will not solve anymore for the remaining possible roots, it's okay because you already got your 3 roots. Can you follow? So work out on these 3 roots that you have solved. Okay? So the roots are, let's write it here. The roots are, -1, 2, and 3. Those are the roots. But if we will express it in factored form, the factors are, what are the factors? Oh, simple lang. You just have to change the sign and then include it with x. The -1 will be x plus 1. The 2, positive 2 will be x minus 2. And then the positive 3 will be x minus 3. So these are the factors of your polynomial. Can you follow? Kindly show a reaction if you understood that process. Let me see. It's okay to explore the other reactions. I want to see your reactions. Okay, let me see. I want more reactions from you. Okay, meron nang nahihilo. Kaya pa yan. Okay. Very good. Thank you. So, this time, we will solve this naman. Using another process. Okay? Let me just take a screenshot of this para di ko na siya susulat ulit. I'll screenshot this and paste it somewhere here. Okay, this time let's solve this using a different process. Okay, but still the same. We still need to get our rational root theorem. Okay, we will still apply this. So that's by getting the factors of your constant divided by the factors of your leading coefficient. So you will end up with the possible roots, which are also the same as this. But di ko na-copy si possible roots. O, si possible roots, I'll just write them again here. The possible roots, PR na lang, P roots, which are positive 1, negative 1, positive 2, negative 2, positive 3, negative 3, positive 6, negative 6. And of course, we know the process already. Assuming we already know na one of these terms will be this. Okay, sinolo natin halimbawa si 1, si negative 1 hindi pa rin. Pero not by using the rational, not using the factor theorem or the remainder theorem, but instead using synthetic division. So kasi sa synthetic division, medyo mas-shorten yung process. It will shorten the process because there is an automatic process, not another next step procedure that we can do. Okay? Kasi some learners get so tired of substituting all the possible roots. Okay? So some result to using the synthetic division. Okay, well, let's do that. And it's actually very handy for many. Let's do it. Let's get all the coefficients. And those are 1, -4, 1, and 6. Those are the coefficients of your given. Negative 4, 1, and 6. 1, negative 4, 1, 6. And of course, don't forget to write your value for x. Automatically, let's move on to negative 1 na because we know naman that 1 is not. And it will end up uh, with a remainder which is 4. Okay? So automatically, let's already try the negative 1. But of course, kasi alam na natin na negative 1 will be the first value. So para lang mapabilis yung process natin. So we have here negative 1. You know the process, bring down 1. And then 1 times negative 1, that's negative 1. Combine the two. Negative 4 minus 1, that's negative 5. Okay. And then 5 times negative 1. Negative 5 times negative 1 is 5. 5 plus 1, that's 6. 6 times 1, 6 times negative 1 is negative 6, and that's 0. So really, it is a factor theorem. So automatically, kapag nag-0 to dito, this is a root. Hence, we will end up with the factor. The factor here will be x plus 1. Can you follow? Okay. Show a reaction if that's clear so far. Show a reaction if that's clear so far. First step of our process. Good. Now, just like what I told you, some are so tired, so get tired of substituting all the possible roots kasi sobrang dami. The best way to solve or simplify this process is by using the synthetic division. Okay? Take note of this. Now, it's from x cubed. We already removed 1. It's already x squared. So we will end up with all of this will become x squared. Okay, bakit saan galing yon? From x cubed, bawasan ng isa, that's x squared. And then that becomes x. And then that becomes a constant. So we will end up with x squared minus 5x plus 6. Can you follow? Now, instead of doing again and again, the substituting, which takes us so much time to solve, better do the synthetic because all we need to do after going back to a general trinomial, we can just do this process of factoring. So let's do it. We know this already. We did this earlier. Factors of x squared are x and x. Factors of 6. Take note that it should be a negative 5. So therefore, try nga natin. Siyempre, trial and error. Pero of course, 5 and 6 and 1 can be used. However, will we end up with this? I guess, let's see. Try lahat lang natin. But try natin, no? Siyempre, try and error kunwari ito. Di pa natin alam kunwari na negative 3 at negative 2 ang lalabas dito. Na 2 and 3 ang lalabas. So we will end up with, sample lang, 6 and 1. Kasi 6 times 1 is still 6. Na pwede maging 5. Ngayon, para maging negative 5 to, this should be negative. This should be positive. Pwede. However, when we multiply this, negative 6 times 1, that is negative 6, which is not the same as this. So therefore, mali yun. Can you follow? Oh, cannot be. Cannot be. Can you follow? Did you see that? Oh, tama naman that when you combine this, kapag minultiply natin, pag kinombine na kasi natin to, negative 6 and 1, it's negative 5x. Pasok. Pasok siya sa middle term. However, negative 6 times 1, it's negative 6, which should be positive 6. If they did not match, we have wrong factors for that. Cannot be. Wrong, 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 wrong. So, di pwede sa 6 and 1. What else are pwede? Factors of 6 are 3 and 2. Now, how can they become negative 5? And a product of 6. What should be their signs? Very good. Both of them should become negative. Let's double check. Negative 3 plus negative 2, that's negative 5. Pasok. Pasok sa middle term. Negative 3 times negative 2, that's positive 6. Uy, perfect. Pasok din siya dito sa ating last term. So therefore, by doing that, we shortened our process. Ayan, we shortened our process. Hindi na tayo nag-solve ng iba pang roots, but automatically we were able to get our factors. Therefore, the factors are, or the factored form is x plus 1. Don't forget, x plus 1 times x minus 3 and x minus 2. And of course, if we are asked to find the roots are change the signs, negative 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Got it? So if you will be asked, which do you prefer to use? Yung all-time factor or remainder theorem, the first step, or the second step using synthetic? Yapin na po ita, sir. Yapin na, yari na. Oy, cha. Labenta mo ng pareho lang na. Let's see if they are the same. X plus 1, x minus 3, x minus 2, x plus 1. Let me make this smaller. Ayan, okay. Good, good. Ulitin na natin. Alin ba ang mas friendly sa inyo? Which is friendlier for you? Okay, there. The first one or the second one? I'm just showing you them or both of them. Ayan. So the first step was this. This is the first step or the first way. By using trying all the possible roots, doing the factor and the remainder theorem. And then the second way is by using your synthetic division. Which do you prefer? Type your answer in the chat box. First way or the second way? Type it in the chat box. I would like to see your answers for this. Okay. Second way, either po. Very good. Kapag either, ibig sabihin, clear pareho. Both. Very good. Second way, no problem. Ang daming ganap sa first way. Doon sa madali. No problem. Wherever you feel like solving it, which will make you solve it faster, no problem. Sir, paano po kung di alam na negative 1 yung unang factor sa synthetic? Mag-try and error po ba? Perfect question. Beautiful question. That's correct. Sir, what if po? That's a valid question. We don't know yet that the first factor is actually negative 1 or the first root. What should we do po? That's a beautiful question. Again, we will go back to the trial and error. Kunwari, hindi pa natin alam yan. We don't know yet that it's negative 1. Okay, let me get this again. Wait lang. I'll copy this. Beautiful question. O game, kunwari, walang nangyari. Hindi pa natin alam na negative 1 yung first factor. Game. So, but we want to use the synthetic division. Let's do this. Same process. Synthetic tayo. We all know the possible roots. So, we have 1, negative 4, 1, 6. And let the first box be 1 kasi we don't know yet that the negative 1 is the first root. Do the process. So we have here 1,